people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are good. Hope you are good, doing well. Today we'll be checking out this video from Charlie Kirk. He's going to be discussing, last night's debate, everything about last night's debate, titled Last Night Debate Changes Everything. Let's check this out.
In previous presidential debates, when Trump was speaking, Trump would go full screen and they would maybe cut back and forth for a split screen. CNN made the production decision to show Joe Biden while Donald Trump was speaking. It was hard to even listen to what Trump was saying because you were trying to say, is Joe Biden okay? The visual was that Joe Biden was doing the mouth open while Donald Trump was speaking. And so Biden would be looking in different directions, left, right, up, down. And as far as television goes, historically, visuals are important. This was a worse visual performance than Richard Nixon sweating after back surgery in the JFK presidential debate of 1960. So the split screen hurt Joe Biden tremendously. And then it was very clear, and this is where it gets super interesting. As soon as the debate was ending, it is very clear that a CNN executive, probably in harmony and in symmetry with Democrat leaders, they gave the green light. You see, we were watching the entire debate with our war room. Do we have a picture of the war room we could put up? We were clipping and, we thought, wow, this is going great for Trump. And I said, do other people think this too? I mean, because you said Joe Biden is doing terrible, but, we're obviously partisans. We're on Team Trump resolutely. And Jack Posobiec, to his great credit, we were doing a stream together. Jack says, I want to hear what CNN has to say. I said, I don't know, but Jack's instincts were right. Yeah, we can put the war room up on screen. John King sent the salvo. He was the first Tomahawk missile against the Biden campaign. Once John King opened the floodgates, the Rubicon was crossed. Everybody on that panel, everybody on MSNBC said, oh, we can say that? What cut is John King? The first John King comment, which, by the way, John King is a left-wing journalist. He's somewhat fair, but he's very trusted by the intelligentsia and the ruling class of D.C. John King gave people a permission to unload. And he basically said, I'm talking to senior Democrats. This is an unmitigated disaster. They don't think Joe Biden can do it. He's going to face calls to be pulled out of this race. He's going to face calls to get pulled out. Unmitigated disaster. And I want to play the piece of tape here of John King. This is it. Cut 120. This right here was an ambush. My working hypothesis is that the media was willing to resurrect Joe Biden's campaign if he would have been passable. As soon as Joe Biden was hardly intelligible, the green light was lit and the dogs were released. Play cut 123.
Minutes into the debate, and it continues right now. It involves party strategists, it involves elected officials, it involves fundraisers. And they're having conversations about the president's performance, which they think was dismal, which they think will hurt other people down the party in the ticket, and they're having conversations about what they should do about it. Some of those conversations include, should we go to the White House and ask the president to step aside? Other of the conversations are about, should prominent Democrats go public with that call? Because they feel this debate was so terrible.
And from there, the pile-on continued. The ambush did not slow down. It accelerated. In fact, I just took a picture of a CNN chyron, and it says, Biden's disastrous debate sends re-election bid into crisis. Now, many of you say, oh, this was all a setup against Biden. Maybe. I think that some people on high wanted to try to see if Biden was as bad as they feared, can they pull him? But pulling him is a lot easier said than done. I'm going to get into that the best I can this program. John King
Do you guys also think that this was a setup or an ambush against Biden? Or do you guys think that this was totally done on purpose? Not to be in favor of Joe Biden. What do you guys think about these comments? Do you think that that was his real self and everything that happened was what would have happened? Or there was a kind of setup that probably we are not aware of? Let's know what you think in the comment section. Please drop your thoughts and comments.
And continued. Actually, let's go to this one. This is Nicole Wallace, another regime-appointed spokesperson, play cut 128.
And there is a conversation happening inside Biden's circle, and certainly a much more frank conversation happening inside the Democratic coalition. And I think there will be stories of a lot of concern about the performance tonight. And I think when
you say conversations happening, what do you mean?
I think people are talking. I think the conversations range from whether he should be in this race tomorrow morning to what was wrong with him.
Breaking news report, quote, all options are on the table. Chiron right now. Now, it's tempting to say, oh, this was all a setup to try to get rid of Joe Biden. So let me get this clear. You want to have a summer debate where your entire party looks like a bunch of liars, that you are filled with treachery and deceit, that you've been saying Joe Biden is perfectly mentally fit, and then you have to, for the first time in American history, pull an incumbent president nominee before the nomination. So you wanted it this way? Maybe. I think that now it is in front of them, the green light that was then lit and the dogs released, they have no choice. They have no choice but to try and remove Joe Biden, but only if Joe Biden goes willingly. If Joe Biden does not release his delegates at the Chicago convention coming up in mid-August, and they bizarrely chose a very, very late convention. They could have chose the week after the RNC. However, the Olympics start close to that. So the Olympics, by the way, might have actually helped us out here. It goes RNC, Olympics, Democrat convention. That is the sequence of summertime programming. The Olympics goes for about 2.5, almost 3 weeks. Who do they pull him with exactly? Oh, you might say Gavin Newsom. Why do you say
Good
that?
question.
Because he does a lot of press conferences? He's just gonna leapfrog over Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris, who is a black female, who is the base of the Democrat Party? He's just going to leapfrog it? And by the way, a lot of people in the Democrat Party don't like Gavin Newsom. This is a disaster for the Democrat Party. And the lesson for us is this. There is a game afoot. There is something happening. What do we do about it? We must do the work. This weekend is a wonderful weekend to wear your MAGA hat and go register new voters at tpaction.com/vote. This weekend is a great weekend to get involved in your local Republican Party. This weekend, this July 4th weekend, every time you see an American flag, make sure they're registered to vote. Wear that MAGA hat. Become the force multiplier in your community. President Trump was a triumphant winner last night, just as much as Joe Biden was a loser. And I want to dwell on that because there's not enough attention. Donald Trump allowed Biden to lose. Let me say that again. Donald Trump.
Do you think also that Donald Trump allowed Biden to lose? What do you guys think about the presidential election, the debate? What do you think? Do you think it was a setup? I'm asking this question again because right now it's now looking like, oh, there was a setup, or he was not properly prepared, or even though he had 6 days to prepare for this debate, he was not properly prepared. Trump allowed Biden to lose. Trump won. What are your thoughts concerning all of these comments? If you watched the full debate or if you've seen short clips from different places, what do you think about that debate?
To lose. Let me say that again. Donald Trump allowed Biden to lose. He deserves unbelievable credit for his self-control, his restraint, his prudence, and his ability to see the big picture and not take the bait. The last 24 hours is the most hopeful I have seen, from the Supreme Court decisions, which we'll get to Mike Davis in just a second, to what happened last night. There's a lot of chatter about how terrible Joe Biden did, but not enough credit for how brilliant Donald Trump performed and allowed Joe Biden to hang himself. Do not interrupt your enemy if they are destroying themselves. This is a perfect piece of tape here that demonstrates this. This is 116, prepare it, where Donald Trump could have said, you are a senile and terrible and dementia-filled person, and it was perfect. This piece of tape is going viral, and it should. And it's Donald Trump at his best with a gentle touch, just pushing Joe Biden away, saying, you're done. You're fired. Play cut 116.
On the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it.
I don't know what he said at that the end of that sentence. Donald Trump very well could have escalated the debate. And Joe Biden was trying to provoke him with the losers and suckers hoax, with all of that. He allowed Biden to lose. And then there was this moment where Joe Biden inexplicably said, well, we beat Medicare. I'm trying to find that tape where he says, yeah, we beat up Medicare. And Donald Trump responded beautifully, well, yes, you did beat Medicare. You beat it up terribly. What I love also was the message discipline. It was almost a running joke in the office, and it was brilliant on Trump's behalf. No matter what the question was, he brought it back to the border. They said, what is your opinion on childcare? The border is wide open. What about climate change? The border is wide open. Play cut 97.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
Donald Trump, the way he answers his questions are very funny. I personally don't know. Do you guys think that there's something wrong with Biden? Do you think that he did not properly prepare for this debate? Do you think that he lost this debate already? Do you think that there was a gang up against Biden? Because, I mean, these are the conversations raising. Do you think, according to Charlie Kirk, he's saying that, you know, Trump allowed him to actually lose. You know, even though Biden was throwing some kind of shots at him, he did not even face that. You know, he was just focused on his own questions. But the way Biden was answering his questions were just like he was saying some repetitive words over and over again, and that Trump totally won this debate. What are your thoughts concerning this whole comments that have been going viral, especially that clip, you know, that has totally been going viral? Let's complete the video, please.
Perfect answer. Perfect. He was talking about all the place, and we finally beat Medicare. I made this point last night. By the way, our live stream last night, just on Twitter X, I had 12.5 million views on Twitter X. And that is just on Twitter. On YouTube alone, 500,000 views. Rumble, nearly 1 million views. We were also on The Great Real America's Voice. Thank you to the SIGs, Parker and Rob. You guys were super great to us last night. Easily, we had 15, 16 million people watch the Charlie Kirk show live stream / Jack Posobiec Thought Crime live stream. I said this last night on the live stream. NFL football games increase in viewership as you get closer to the fourth quarter. Increase. So I'm one of those guys. If I don't really care that much about the game, I will watch the third or fourth quarter because I got other stuff to do, unless I'm really into the teams, really into the players. So it increased. Second quarter goes up, after halftime goes up, and then fourth quarter spike. Close game. Mahomes has the ball. Okay. Presidential debates are the exact opposite. Presidential debates start with extremely high viewership. And after about 7 to 10 minutes, they go off a cliff. They just go straight down and they don't recover. They go down and they plateau because most people are not as political as we are. They're not.
Yeah.
So Joe Biden did not just do poorly. Joe Biden had his glitches in the moments where viewership was the highest. If Joe Biden would have glitched out at the end of the debate, it would have been bad, but it wouldn't have been nearly as catastrophic to the low information voters. And don't take my word for it. According to a CNN post-debate poll, 67% of viewers say Donald Trump won the debate. 67%. Now, we're running out of time here in this segment, but coming up next hour, we have Vivek Ramaswamy, we have Ari Fleischer. We're going to get into the details. How are they going to pull Joe Biden? All options are on the table. I have a theory of how it could possibly work, but this is a calamity for them. This is a mess. There are no good options. None. There's ballot access issues, getting on the ballot in Wisconsin, getting on the ballot in Nevada, getting on the ballot in Georgia. There's convention issues. And let me be clear. Is the party of democracy going to pick a nominee without their voters?
Good question.
This was the Hindenburg for them last evening. And they do not have a path forward. And it's time for us to go full acceleration and play to win.
So it's time to go full acceleration and play the win. So I think that you guys should just, let's know what you think about that whole debate. Do you think that they're going to choose another candidate for another debate, just like Charlie Kirk said? How did the debate go? Do you think Trump won? What do you think will be running through the minds of Democrat supporters? I mean, that's a very good question right now. What do you think will be going through their minds? Do you think they are still in full support of, okay, this is still the person that we want to vote for, this is our candidate, we still vote for him regardless of what happened? What happened was a glitch, was a setup. What do you guys think? Please drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Let's know your thoughts about both parties, the election, the debate. How did it go in your opinion? What do you think will happen, in future? What do you foresee happening next? Drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on post notification bell. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.